Most entrepreneurs aren't running their mornings, they're letting their mornings run them. And when the first hour of your day is spent putting out other people's fires, it's no wonder you end the day completely burned out. Be honest. Have you ever started your day hunched over your laptop in yesterday's sweatpants, answering emails before you've even had coffee and thought, this cannot be what being a CEO is supposed to feel like?
Is this all there is?
Yeah, been there. And spoiler alert, that's not what it's supposed to be like. That's survival mode. But what if, before the chaos hits, you gave yourself 5 minutes to actually lead? Not to overplan like a robot, not to guilt yourself into squeezing more productivity out of your soul, but to align, to set the tone, to make sure what you do today actually serves the business you're trying to build tomorrow. Well, that's the CEO morning moment. It's not another system to manage you. It's a moment that puts you back in the pilot seat of your day. Welcome back to another episode of The Cozy CEO. Hey there, Kimberly Ferguson, CEO and founder of The Emerald Edge. And around here, we don't glorify burnout. We build businesses that actually work for you, not just because of you. Today, we're talking about a simple daily check-in, which is like your internal board meeting. You, your intuition, your priorities, and probably your coffee.
Let's think of it as a meeting of minds.
Getting on the same page before the rest of the world barges in with its chaos. It's short, it's simple, and it's the difference between running your day like a CEO and just surviving it like an unpaid intern in your own company.
I just need some time. You gotta do some time.
In this video, I'm walking you through the exact 5-step morning check-in I recommend for every business owner who wants to grow without the spiraling. So you'll learn how to align your focus with your real goals, not just whatever's screaming loudest in your inbox. Make smarter decisions by checking your actual capacity, not pretending you're a superhero on 3 hours of sleep. Support your team without turning yourself into their full-time safety net. Prioritize needle-moving work instead of just putting out fires in Slack all day, i.e., working on the business, not in the business. And reconnect with your bigger vision so that your day serves your future and not just your inbox. This isn't about becoming a morning person or adding another color-coded routine to your calendar. It's about reclaiming 5 minutes of clarity so you stop running on autopilot and start running like a CEO.
15 minutes can save you 15% or more.
And let me be clear, this is a real tangible tool that I'm going to provide to you. It's a literal app you can open each day without adding more work to your plate. I'll share more as we go through. But let's get into it.
Let's do this. What's up?
So to start, what 3 things would make today feel like a win if that's all you did? Not 10, not 25, not everything in your Trello board plus whatever Slack coughs up before noon. 3. This forces clarity. It cuts through the mental noise and puts you back in charge instead of letting your inbox dictate your destiny. Think impact, not busyness. And here's the fun part. If you nail those 3 before lunch, well, you have full permission to declare victory. Take a walk, make pancakes, watch cat videos, whatever fills your brilliant CEO heart. Because guess what? Productivity isn't about doing it all. It's about doing what actually matters. So stop trying to win an imaginary gold medal in multitasking. 3 priorities, that's it. Everything else can wait.
3.
Now I want you to ask yourself this question. What do you actually need you? Could a team member handle it? Could it wait until next week? Or my personal favorite, does it even need to happen at all? Or are you just doing it because it's become muscle memory at this point? I'm looking at you. Check your email every 7 minutes habit.
I need to check my emails.
This step protects your focus. And bonus, it teaches your team they don't need to Slack you every time someone forgets a password, can't find a Google Doc, or panics because the printer is possessed. Delegation isn't just about efficiency, it's about not being the 24/7 help desk for your own company. And the real kicker, every time you delegate, you're not just offloading a task, you're training your team to think, solve, and grow without you, which means fewer interruptions, fewer bottlenecks, and more space for you to actually act like the CEO. Everyone wins.
It's time to get serious.
This next one is the secret weapon most business owners skip. How do you actually feel today? Are you running on espresso and sheer determination? Awesome. Channel that energy into creative or strategic work while your brain is firing on all cylinders. On the flip side, are you foggy, fried, and already questioning your life before 9 a.m.? Well, that's a signal to save the big decisions for tomorrow and knock out admin emails or maintenance work today instead. Because here's the thing, you're not a robot. And if you were, at least you'd get automatic software updates and a mute button. Pretending you can show up at the exact same capacity every single day is a fast track to burnout. Tuning into your energy isn't indulgent, it's efficient. When you match your tasks to your actual capacity, you get more done with less resistance. Think of it like flying a plane. You wouldn't take off headed into a storm without checking the fuel gauge and the weather ahead. Same with your day. Your energy is data. Use it.
To get answers, we need more data.
Now it's time for the CEO power move. Pick one thing, just one, that will actually move your business forward today. Not 10 little busy tasks, not easy wins that make you feel productive but don't actually change anything. One action that has ripple effects 3 months from now. Maybe it's reaching out to that potential strategic partner. Maybe it's mapping out the first draft of a new offer. Maybe it's finally updating that SOP so you don't have to explain for the 87th time how to upload a file correctly. Bless your team, but come on. If your laptop exploded during the night, what is the one thing you'd be thrilled to have completed before that happened? That's your needle mover. Circle it, protect it, and for the love of your sanity, do it before you let your inbox trick you into believing that answering 47 emails was your life's purpose.
I'm not falling for that again.
Before you close out this little morning moment, pause and zoom out. What are you actually building here? Who are you becoming as a CEO? Where's this whole plane headed? Or are you just circling the runway answering emails all day? You don't need a 30-minute journaling session with mood lighting. You just need one clear moment to check your North Star. Ask yourself, does what I'm doing today support the vision of me who's already thriving in that bigger vision? Because here's the truth. Action without alignment is just busy work with a prettier spreadsheet. And spreadsheets don't build legacies. You do.
But what do I do now?
We interrupt your regular programming for a CEO Morning Moments app demo. So when you first log in to this app, it's going to ask you a few questions. What industry you're in? Why did you start your business? What is your big vision over the next 5 to 10 years for your business? Once you fill that out, it's going to take you into our team tab. This is where you can enter in any team members that you have that you might want to delegate work to. So you'll put those in: name and email address. So you can skip this step, but the nice thing about this is the system is actually going to allow you to delegate to them. So if you put their information in the system, you can send them tasks. So once you do that, you'll be taken to the to-do list, which is where you can enter any to-do items that you would like to include. So if you add a task, you can enter the title, you can include a description, you can choose a category. If you don't feel like these categories are sufficient, then you can also go into manage categories and add new ones. The only one that can't change is strategic, and that is because these are your magic moments, right? These are the things that are actually helping to move the needle forward in your business. So if there is a task like that, you'll choose strategic. Otherwise, choose the rest of them and any other categories that you want to add. You can also choose priority level. And fun fact, if you choose it to low priority, it's going to prompt you and say, is this task really essential? Perhaps it could be delegated or deleted from your task list at all. You can even include how much time it's going to take, and you can include a due date if you'd like to. So let's go ahead and add a task of, let's create a video. Okay. The nice thing is that you can hit enter. It's going to continue to let you add tasks as many as you want to. So you can just kind of do that in a fairly quick way. Then the next thing is you go into your morning moment. So this is where we're actually going to go through the process choosing our top 3 priorities. So let's go ahead and choose a couple of them. I marked this one as important, so it's showing up at the top. If you mark it as urgent, it will show up above important. It'll actually show you like in priority order. So I'm going to choose create a video. I'm going to choose call Sean, whoever that is, and I'm going to choose monthly bookkeeping. And then I'll save and continue. Now, here's where it says, is there anything on your to-do list that you could delegate? So let's say that I can delegate tax prep, and we'll continue. Next, we're going to check in on our energy levels. How are we doing today? Are we a 10 out of 10? Heck yeah, we've got high energy. We're ready to tackle anything. If we say we're at maybe like a 5, then it's going to kind of give you this prompt, which is, do these tasks align with the energy level that you stated that you have? And if you need to switch them out, click switch. It'll give you your other options and you can switch it out. Otherwise, you can just hit save and continue. Then the next one is choose your strategic needle moving action. So like I said, if you chose strategic from the list when you were creating your tasks, it will show up here and you can just choose it. Otherwise, you can write a custom action. So I'll say evaluate potential new service and we'll continue. Then the next one is anchor these tasks to your bigger vision. So I did it, go ahead and include whatever your company vision is. So one, you can see your company vision every single day. And we all know that seeing what you want to achieve every day is going to keep it top of mind. It's going to help you align with that better. It's going to help you actually achieve the bigger vision that you have for your company. So here we can review it and here we can explain how today's priorities will align with the bigger vision. So whatever you want to put, I'm just going to put something just as a placeholder so I can show you what the completion looks like. So help us meet more people. So now we're going to complete and assign tasks. So what's going to happen is you are automatically going to be taken to assign any tasks that you said you could delegate. So I said tax prep. So now I can choose a team member that I want to assign it to. I can choose a due date that I want it done by, and I can include any instructions, any links. If you're using any of the apps we've suggested, like Scribe or Loom, you can link the video into the task to make it easier for your team to actually complete the task. Once you do this, you can assign, you can fill in the information. What's going to happen is they're going to get an email that says you have a new task assigned to you. It's going to show the due date. It's going to show the task name in the subject so they can see very quick and easy what actually needs to be done. But then once they open the email, they'll see all the details that you've provided. So if you included a description when you created the task, any instructions that you've provided, the due date, all of those things are going to show up in the email that they've received from the system automatically so that you don't have to do anything further. So then the last thing you can do is go into your history and you can always see all of your business foundations. So these are the things that you answered in the beginning. What business do you have? Tell us about your story and what's your company vision. And this is here so that as your company vision changes, you can change this. And then the last thing is going to show you completion rate in the last 30 days. What's your streak? How many days in a row have you done this? And then your total entries. And then if you want to, you can actually see your recent sessions where you'll be able to go through and see all of the questions and how you answered them. So, and now back to your regularly scheduled program. You are not just the operator of your business. You're its architect. And architects don't wake up and wing it. They start with a blueprint, even if it's scribbled on the back of a coffee-stained napkin. So if you've started feeling scattered, stretched, or stuck in reactive mode, it's time to steal your mornings back. This daily moment isn't about micromanaging yourself. It's about clarity. And clarity is the most underrated superpower in business. It's the difference between running in circles and building something that actually lasts. So here's your challenge. Download the CEO Morning Moment app and make this 5-step check-in part of your daily rhythm. Then text it to your CEO bestie to spread the love because growth is better when you don't have to do it alone. But if you're ready for next level clarity, the kind that goes beyond mornings and into the long-term strategy that fuels real growth, this is where one-on-one CFO advisory with my team comes in. Together, we'll turn your business into a well-oiled machine that supports your life instead of draining it.
That's exactly what I need.
Well, thanks for hanging out with me on The Cozy CEO, where coffee is the co-host and clarity gets the corner office. 5 minutes, one check-in, a completely different kind of day. Grab the link below. You won't regret it. And I'll see you in my next video.